Hello, trauma warriors. I'm Janae with Defeating Childhood Trauma, and welcome to Trauma Brain Science 101, the official Netflix binge version of my YouTube shorts. No repeats, no scroll breaks, just one continuous flow of brain science and a side of chaos. And heads up, if you join me later, you might be shocked to see the Mustache Brothers acting like victim-shaming idiots. That's because their empathy upgrade didn't happen until the next series. This one's their villain era. 3 guys, 1 dry erase board, and enough cortisol flames to roast your amygdala. Let's roll the OG chaos.
You're just holding on to your trauma. Just let it go already.
Contrary to popular misinformation, we are not the ones holding on to our trauma. Trauma is holding on to us. Here, let me show you. Behind me is Trauma Brain Science 101 with a map of pathways. At the center is your hippocampus. You're the librarian of your memories and the backbone of this whole system. Notice how it gives first dibs to the thalamus, your brain's receptionist, who decides whether to send signals to the amygdala, your alarm, or to the watchtower, your calm observer. Meanwhile, the hippocampus is giving second dibs to our timekeeper. This is the part of the brain that determines when what happened in trauma. Problem is, in trauma, the timekeeper gets scrambled and memories from the past crash into the present, making it feel like it happened now. That's the trauma brain in a nutshell. And tomorrow we will start talking about the hippocampus, the backbone of this whole system.
The past is the past. Just move on.
Yeah, if it were that simple, my hippocampus wouldn't be so busy running triage. This is the hippocampus, the backbone of the trauma brain. Think of it as the librarian of your memories. Its job? To catalog and put in order what happened, when it happened, and how it connects with the rest of the story, and how we interpret what's happening now. But under trauma, the hippocampus gets overwhelmed. Memories fragment, timelines blur, and you lose that sense of then versus now. That's why flashbacks feel like they're happening all over again. Your timekeeper is offline. Tomorrow, we'll meet the thalamus, your brain's receptionist, the one who decides whether messages go up to calm or down to panic. Trust me, you will want to know who is answering the phone.
Now you're just overreacting.
Nope, that is not overreacting. That's the thalamus doing its job. And here's how. The thalamus takes in all the sensory info, everything you see, hear, feel, touch, and decides where to send it. It's your sensory filter. When it routes the mail down, it goes to your amygdala, your alarm system, panic response. When it routes the mail up, it goes to the watchtower, the calm observer, perspective, clarity. But the thalamus doesn't work alone. It leans on yesterday's star, the hippocampus, your brain's librarian. Memories influence how the thalamus interprets the present. Is this safe? Or does this feel like danger I've seen before? That's why trauma brains often misinterpret neutral situations as unsafe. The sensory filter gets biased, deciding what we notice and how we notice it. Tomorrow, we will see why once the mail hits the amygdala, it always opens the scary stuff first, even when it's just junk mail.
Stop being so dramatic. You're fine.
Wrong again. It's actually the amygdala, the alarm system of your brain. The amygdala is that one friend who always yells, "Fire!" even when it's just burnt toast. The amygdala's job is to keep you alive by reacting fast to possible threats. And it's good at it, sometimes too good. In trauma brains, the amygdala becomes hyperactive. It not only reacts to real danger, but it'll react to anything that might resemble danger. Loud noise, a facial expression, even silence. And then suddenly your whole body feels like it's under attack. So a good key phrase to remember is hypervigilance equals the amygdala stuck on high alert. The thalamus is the brain's receptionist and sensory filter, deciding what we notice and how we notice it. And it's based off the memories it gets from the hippocampus. And because the thalamus physically wraps around the amygdala, this alarm is going to get first dibs. So if amygdala says panic, well, this whole system is going to react. That's why panic, startle responses, emotional flooding are so common in trauma. This alarm is constantly ringing even when nothing is on fire. But the amygdala doesn't always get the last word. Tomorrow, we'll talk about the watchtower, that part of your brain that can step back, look around, and go, actually, we're safe.
You're just overthinking it. Relax.
Nope. This is your brain's watchtower, the part that can step back and see the whole picture. Here's how it works. Imagine someone suddenly enters the room. Well, your amygdala, the alarm, is going to fire first. So you startle, and then in the very next beat, the watchtower kicks in, sees the big picture, and then goes, wait, this person is not a threat. Yeah, it works that fast. But in the trauma brain, the amygdala keeps you stuck in hypervigilance. This constant alarm makes it almost impossible for the watchtower to do its job. Instead of noticing safety, the brain stays locked in threat. The bigger picture never comes through, so you live in high alert. And here's the thing. For our system to work properly, we need the timekeeper online. That's the part that tells us when things happen. Tomorrow, we will finally break down the timekeeper.
Now that was a long time ago. Get over it.
Definitely the line I've heard most often. Hello, science, my old friend. I come to you again because there are some idiots who think they can tell us how to heal our trauma. This is your brain's timekeeper. The timekeeper works with the hippocampus, your brain's librarian, to organize memories. When the timekeeper is online, we know the difference between the past and the present. However, when the timekeeper is offline, it's not being properly time-stamped. And so we get flashbacks that feel like it's happening now, and the brain doesn't know the difference. So when survivors say, it feels like it's happening all over again, that's not drama. It's brain science. And here's the thing. The timekeeper does even more than help the hippocampus timestamp events. The timekeeper is also in charge of our motor timing, event planning, even our perception of time. Here's the most relatable symptom. When we're depressed, it feels like we're going to feel this way forever. That's the timekeeper being offline. Our sense of time has been distorted, including our perception of how long something is going to last right now. And now here's the final twist. The timekeeper only helps the hippocampus with its time stamp, but it has no authority on what the hippocampus actually remembers. The hippocampus actually takes its orders from a whole crew of body chemicals. Dopamine, dynorphins, serotonin, oxytocin, and more. They're the ones who tell the hippocampus, hey, remember this, or hey, forget that. So this is the wrap up of Trauma Brain Science 101. For 6 days, we have defined the core problem. If you want tools for what to do about this system, go to my site, defeatingchildhoodtrauma.com. On the main menu, click on Master Toolbox 2. That one is loaded with science hacks, and you'll see there is plenty we can do. Tomorrow, we'll start a brand new science map, the memory crew, the body chemicals that call the shots on what we remember. And this guy here, he'll be back, but in a new spot. And that was the series that started it all. Back before the Mustache Brothers grew hearts, before oxytocin worked its magic, and before I realized I'd accidentally cast 3 male characters as every survivor's worst comment section. But hey, we all evolve, and so did they. So if you've already met their future, now you've seen their past. Stick around for series 2, where the science gets deeper, and so do the characters. Subscribe if you are ready to see empathy in action, literally. If you made it this far, you officially binge watched science. The algorithm thanks you, and so does my hippocampus. Forged in trauma, rising as warriors.